This 5-tip list is not elaborate. It is the health coach's marketing formula that you can count on. It's easier and it's lighter. Months ago, I shared this within our Flipping50 Menopause Fitness Specialist support group, and it's true and proven every single day. It's still a bit of a struggle for coaches who don't have, say, a clear message that solves a customer identified problem and that the customer is actively seeking an answer to. Let me break those down just real quick before we go anywhere. Number one, you have to have a clear message. What is your very clear message? It's like a one-liner. If you don't have one yet, you absolutely need one. Number two, the clear message is about something that solves a customer identified problem. The gold in that is customer identified. It's not what you think the customer's problem is. It's the customer's problem. It's what they walk around all day, stare at the ceiling at night, thinking about kind of problem that they are actively seeking an answer to. It's not the fact that somebody smokes and you're telling them, here's the best way to quit, unless they're looking for ways to quit and think they have a problem. Some people smoking don't yet. Okay, so sometimes it just takes a flip of content, and we're going to get into that during this episode. I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to She Means Fitness Business at Voice for Fitness, my LLC, who sponsors all things related to Flipping 50 and the Fitness Pros side, Fitness Marketing Mastery. We know you want to be an inspirational example to midlife women. In order to do that, you need a profitable health and fitness coaching business. And the problem is a lack of clients or a lack of rates that actually get you what you deserve. And that makes you feel uncertain about whether you can succeed. We believe that you deserve consistent, dependable revenue from clients you love. And I understand how this feels because I have been there too, which is why I now train fitness pros internationally. Here's how I do it. Number one, I meet with you on a call. So book a call. We create a plan of action based on where you are now, where you want to go. And number three, we celebrate your growth along the way because those baby steps are so very important. So number one, book a call. And in the meantime, get your business scorecard. It's a quick download, but you can assess yourself. You can take your temperature. I actually laid it out based on the blueprint that I use of the method to teach and to train coaches how to be successful, to go from 0 to 6-figure months, if that's what you too want. And this is also you can stop feeling like your dream is slipping away while other less qualified and less heart-centered coaches make sales and get more clients. And instead, you can increase easily your revenue by at least $5,000 a month in no less than 90 days. All right, let's dive into this. This 5-tip list, again, it is so not elaborate. You've heard all these before, but I'm going to put them together because this is how every single day making 200 and 300 and 400 more fans or followers. And really, why is that not important? That's not important unless they're engaged, unless they're liking, they're commenting, they're DMing you because they don't understand that they can actually respond right in a poll. Happens every day, but you gotta love them, right? And here's the deal. Those are the people that are engaged with you. Those are the people that are asking for help. And those are the people who will be buyers right now when you're offering something, if you're doing it right. So let's get you doing it right. So that flip of content works like this. If no one knows they need magnesium and you're not a pharmacist, so they're not coming to you for, why would I take zinc? Why would I take magnesium? Why would I take blah, blah, blah? Or you're not a doctor. Telling the benefits of magnesium in a post generally is not going to be a hugely popular post. If magnesium supports sleep, constipation, and let's admit 400 other enzyme actions in the body, like metabolism, then the better lead for your post might be how magnesium supports menopause issues or how to sleep without medication. I didn't even mention magnesium, but you can after they start scrolling through your post or looking at your reel. Or it's how to poop without laxatives, also about magnesium. How to boost metabolism without tons of exercise, also about magnesium. So here's a test I encourage you to do. I do it for myself. I will take my own advice. Go back through your posts and look at the ones that you thought, this is such a great help. Like, I'm being so generous, I'm giving so much. And it didn't actually go over. Like you thought it was going to be an eagle and it kind of was a duck. Well, look at whether you led with what was the problem they look for a solution to. And then use the same kind of post. You have to tweak the text and copy a little bit, but post it again. Doing one of these flips, instead of leading with the magnesium, lead with the problem. I can't poop. My metabolism is stuck. I can't sleep. The things that they're bothered by today, right now, that they wish would go away. So while this 5-tip health coach marketing formula for social media will help you, you have to get beyond number 1 for all the other 4 to be any good. And number 1 is a perfectly crafted message that solves a problem your customer has and identifies with. They have to know. Somebody else can't just be saying, well, you need to lose 20 pounds, you're fat, you're overweight. They have to want to lose 20 pounds and feel fat and sluggish and overweight, not because somebody else is telling them. It has to be in a non-salesy way that you're saying this message. In this statement, when we were talking weight loss, it has to be empathetic. You have to identify with it, maybe tell your own story. If you've never been overweight and you're trying to help women lose weight, you're at a disadvantage, girlfriend. So you better get a story. You better tell some client stories or let them tell it for you. Because if weight loss is your gig, but you've never actually done it, it's a little bit hard unless you've got tons of proof through your customers, and then let them talk for you. But if you've always been thin, you've always been lean, you've always been a endurance runner, you're not going to relate to them very much because they potentially have never been lean, have never been thin, have always struggled with weight, have always dieted, maybe have always hated exercise. So close that gap and be sure that whatever you're doing, your posts have to be non-salesy. If they're all about promoting a program that you have open right now, something's wrong. You can mention that in maybe a line of your copy at the end. But really, unless you're doing a paid advertisement, and you got to think that twice because paid ads can hurt your organic growth. So decide what's your path. So you can't do paid advertising and then come back and hope organic works. You also can't be salesy and promotional organically and then hope that your organic list is going to grow because they're not going to love you. They want to look smart, sexy, or funny. And if your posts don't do that for them, probably they're not going to love it. Okay, so that perfectly crafted message has to solve a problem that your customer has and identifies with. Number 2, if you've mastered number 1, good sound and clear visuals. So, of course, the sound matters if you're doing the video. Obviously, if you're doing pictures only and carousels and you're scrolling images or making infographics, no big deal. Or if it's silent and you're just putting music over it. But if you are talking, you want to make sure, and I do this sometimes when I'm outdoors and I have a little lapel mic on, but if the wind beats my voice, sometimes I just, wasted that 20 minutes and it's like, I can't do that. I have to do a voiceover, but then my lips are moving. So it's stupid. It's just, sometimes that happens though, but you have to be willing to scrap it. So good sound is a must if you're narrating. Closed caption is also really important since most people, like a large percentage, have the sound off by default because they're listening while they're, on the subway or the train. And not everybody is that considerate, but, it's generally sound is off. A casual pic on your iPhone is perfect for stories. I mean, it's supposed to be about your personal life and you in the moment, but it may not be okay on your post. So if you're not taking it in portrait, it's not one of the newer models of an iPhone, you may want to rethink that. So overproduced Canva obvious graphics that look like a business are not the solution though. So I just want to make sure that you realize people still they go to social media to see their friends or their families or to like influencers, but not to like you because of your program and because of your overdone and overproduced images. They want to see you like behind the scenes. They want to see you with your family. That's the kind of thing that they really like. So you've got to sprinkle in that personal life with what you're doing. That's the better way to grow. So think about if you're overusing those Canva obvious produced graphics that start to look like everyone else's, or you're using a way casual picture and maybe the lighting wasn't good. Other pics, made with your iPhone can actually be really good. I do most of my reels with my iPhone. Number 3, post maybe 2 or maybe 3 reels per week. That's it. Because you got to leave 3, maybe 4 days even between them and make them better. So you have the time now. You don't have to do one every single day. In fact, you shouldn't because you're cannibalizing on your own popularity. If they see something now, they're not necessarily going to scroll back and follow everything that you did since birth, right? They're not going to scroll through your timeline. Not unless I was that good. Every once in a while, I will find somebody just started following me and then they like 8 things. So they have looked at my timeline. But that's rare. I'm talking about it because I can remember those instances. I mean, it may happen 2 or 3 times a month that'll occur, but it's like somebody either liking you and then really kind of binging on it for a second, or it's somebody re-engaging after they've been gone or away that'll do that. So just make your reels better. Take a little time, think about the content. You got to go back to number 1. Is it a problem that you're talking about that your customer knows, but they don't know, right? It's like last couple of things that I've shared were about, say, warm-ups. Things that people don't know they need to be doing for warm-ups, parts of the warm-up that aren't obvious to them. So everybody knows they need to warm up. So you don't want to say, things that you need to do for a better workout. You got to warm up, you got to cool down, you got to do core. I mean, that's pretty, okay. Yeah, already knew that. They probably aren't going to get really outrageously crazy about that. But can you put something in there that they don't already know? Parts of the warm up. 5 favorite warm up moves I do. And I did something recently about that, but you have time to do it much better, much less often. And then don't be shy about sharing it. So if you post something in your timeline, 24 hours later, immediately you shared in your timeline, you shared to your story, hoping you do that just by default. That's what you do. But 24 hours, that story is gone. So share it again and say, hey, a lot of comments on this one. Have you seen this one yet? And maybe put a poll on that story. So you're engaging it even further and you're getting their comments about it. So give it life and lift after so more eyes get on it and more views occur. Number 4 is short beats long. Short, like 15-second reels, 30-second reels. You can now do 90-second reels. Don't go to the beep. Do you know what I mean by that? I do. I go to the beep. I'm so sorry. So if you're in my contacts list and I've ever called you I go to the beep and I'm so sorry. But when I'm responding to a message with my friends, I quite often will leave the message that gets to their beep. You don't want to do that. Don't fill the 90 seconds just because you can. Try to do 15 or less than 15-second reels because they're going to get played 100% of the time. And whether you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, or you're on TikTok, when they see the whole thing, it's a part of the algorithm. I mean, they like you. It's like, oh my gosh, you held their attention for all of the 9 seconds that a guppy has an attention. Great on you. We're going to show you more often because people like that. So when you can use that less than 15-second content that gives tons of value. So, every once in a while you can just throw something in that's simply funny. But if you throw something in that's simply funny, your post, the copy, the text in that post should be really relevant, better give something really, really juicy. You want to make them play that post over and over again. Like if you're doing a voiceover or you're doing the original and it's you're just doing the miming of it, make it really funny. If they watch 100% of it, remember, it helps you be seen more. And they'll play it over and over again, or they'll save it even better. And you got to realize a lot of people are saving it because they're also trying to grow their list, and they're going to save it because they're going to go use it themselves. That's okay, because you have your own style. You're putting things together in a unique way, but you don't care why they save it. But if somebody is saving it and they're not in your direct ideal dream customer demographic, that does hurt you. So it's not that, I don't want my son and his girlfriend to like a post. It's great. I do want them to like a post. However, if they like a post first, now potentially Instagram is confused and they're going to show my post to both young men and women in their late 20s and early 30s. That's not who I want to reach, right? So we've got to think about, make sure that you're reaching the right people, not just any people's. Number 5, talk, tag, and text. Repeat the SEO. If you talk in a video or you add the words in the overlay directly on Instagram, don't do this anywhere else. You want to do it on Instagram when you're editing and uploading your videos. But if you talk or you have that message showing on the screen, then make sure you use that in the tag and then in the text or the copy of your post 3 times. That's a triple play. So if my earlier example, we were talking about warm-ups, the word warm-up, like wake up your warm-up, maybe that's the title. Used it before, but yes, you can take it. I don't care. We have a different flavor, you and I. So if I use that as the overlay in a video, as I'm showing different warm-ups, then I'm going to talk about, hey, everybody knows they need to warm up. Did you know how? Did you know it's a 2-part thing? Did you know part 2 is dynamic and here's what it looks like? Here's my favorites. That was practically verbatim a post, but how many times did I use the word warm up? I used it on the screen in the video. I used it in the post. And then when I go to choose my tags, I'm going to say warm up or exercise warm-ups. Warm up examples, warm up exercises, all different kinds of ways that you can insert that. But that triple play is helpful. You want layers of talking in a video or words on the video, plus the tags you use, plus the copy you use. Don't think 3 different sets. It covers more ground. It doesn't. This is like niching down in your business. Go deep and you will be rewarded, my friend. Okay. Here they are again. Remember, number 1 is the most important because the other 4 don't matter if you don't get this one right. A perfectly crafted message that solves a problem that your customer has and identifies with. Number 2 is good sound and clear visuals. Number 3, post about 2, maybe 3 reels per week. Put time between those. Make them better. Number 4 is short beats long every time. Short form video content on every platform is the thing right now. Number 5 is talk, tag, and text. Repeating the SEO. This is your triple play. All right. for the repeat of the show notes, you can go to fitnessmarketingmastery.com/health coaches marketing formula. We'll put links to a couple other things that you can get from us to help you choose the right words that make people, your dream customers. Sign up. Say, yes, I'm ready to start, and I only want to work with you. What are you waiting for? The world needs us right now more than ever.